So I just watched the very first episode of the latest Sentai Dragon Knight Ryusoulger, I believe that's called, or Souljaku. I don't know the name, I'm bad at pronunciations, but this is my first time watching a Sentai as it airs on TV. Well, not on TV, I can't really watch it because I don't live in Japan, and Sentai isn't always the best way to watch legally until recently, where they put the older seasons that Shout Factory put out on Amazon Prime, I believe. But anyway, the very first episode of this Sentai, I really enjoyed it. And if you want to hear more of my thoughts of this Sentai as it's airing week to week, maybe you can tell me how to pronounce the name in the comment section. But if you want to hear me talk about this Sentai more, tell me in the comment section down below, because your input is important. Because if no one really comments saying they want to hear more of this, I'm unsure if I want to continue reviewing this Sentai. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but I really need input. So for now, this is going to be my initial thoughts of this Sentai, and overall, it was a pretty good episode, a very solid, good first episode. I mean, like I said, I'm not much of a big Sentai fan, I'm more of a Power Rangers guy. The only Sentai I've seen is a few episodes of Shinkeja, a few episodes of Gokaija. I've seen all of Zoo Ranger on DVD that Shout Factory put out a few years ago, and I would love to dip my toes into more Sentai that Shout Factory have put out, but those box sets are very expensive, and importing them to Australia is not as cheap as it is. It's roughly about $60 if I want to import them to Australia. But anyways, this episode was really good because the whole premise that these guys are Dragon Knight warriors and they live in a secret village is a really cool concept, and I know it's probably been done before in Sentai, but I really do like the premise. And I did like how there was we've got the three main colors. We've got blue, pink, and red. They're the first ones we see in the episode. They're the first rangers we see. And there's also another set of them, which are the Master Knights. And those Sentai actors, they've been in Sentai before. Master Pink being Sailor Moon in the Sailor Moon tokusatsu, and Master Blue being Masked Carmen, or Tuxedo Mask, I'm blanking on the name. Yeah, but Tuxedo Carmen in the live-action tokusatsu Sailor Moon that Toei put out like a decade ago at this point, because it was so long ago. And those guys are Sentai, well not, yes, Sentai veterans, if you want to call it Sentai. And those guys are really cool, because it's cool seeing older actors like that sort of pass down the torch to younger Sentai actors, and that was a really cool touch. And although we only see these three rangers, I really do like them. They're interesting characters. I hope we get to learn more about them. The Pink Ranger, she's kind of a cutie. She's got a little quirk or a little gimmick where she's super strong. She pushes the Red Ranger out of the way, and it sort of knocks over like a small mountain, which got a laugh out of me. Even though, well, I got a laugh out of me mostly because it was so ridiculous, a funny gag, but just the way they do it, like she pushes him out of the way and it jumps like 2 frames out of for the impact. It's not like a very fast pushing you out of the way, we're gonna speed up the camera. It's just like she pushes him out of the way, he jumps a few frames back and knocks down the little mountain. That got a laugh out of me. We also have this character which is some sort of online blogger, some sort of explorer, where she goes into the Amazon, and when I mean Amazon, it's just some sort of mini Japanese forest that leads into the lost temple of the Sentai team of this season, which is kind of funny because she goes, I'm in the Amazon, and the way they set her up, they do like a fade to black and it makes it seem like it's going to an actual Japanese commercial, but really it's this character that's so wacky, so weird, that she's promoting her own online show. And I do like it when she gets escorted out of the village, because she sneaks in and the Red Ranger goes, I'm going to erase your memory, and he pulls out like a mallet, and she goes, that's gonna hurt, and he goes, nonsense. And you don't really see much of that gag because the enemy attacks soon after, but it was funny while it lasted. It got another chuckle out of me. So this Sentai, it's on the chuckle-o-meter for me, the chuckle meter, the ha 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 laugh. And overall, like I keep saying, pretty good. It's a pretty good Sentai so far. Now let's talk about the suits in this Sentai. Now the suits in these Sentai, I really like, and it's got that night theme. It's got the little cross in the middle where will have the color and the silver plating. That looks really cool. The battle armor looks really cool. These costumes are very night themed Sentai, dinosaur night themed Sentai, and I do like them quite a fair bit, and they look really nice. Also, the weapons also get a really good laugh out of me because they have this weird gimmick where when they charge them up, they put something in, like, so it's a sword. Don't know if I can have a clip because I'll probably get struck down with a copyright strike or a copyright claim, but if you watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. So they put something in the mouth of the little dinosaur mouth handle of the Sentai, and as they charge it up, they pull on a handle, and it's just this chomping effect, and it goes so, I believe that it's saying. And when Sentai does something really outrageous and gimmicky like that, like Final Wave, it always gets a laugh out of me, and I always enjoy it when I see it on screen, and they do it like 3 or 4 times in this episode, I believe, and it always got a laugh out of me. And we also see the Zord, which is called the Dino Knight, I believe it's called. The Zord or the Mecha, whatever you want to call it. And it does look really cool. Seeing it in motion on the screen, it looks really nice. I mean, it does look a bit bulky with its shoulders and its front chest, but overall looks really cool. It looks like something I would draw as a little kid, or I would come up with just drawing as a kid. It just looks like really creative and imaginative. I know they're doing the dinosaur theme because apparently from what I've heard, there's a YouTube channel called Lost in Tokusatsu, which I'm going to put a link to his channel down in the description because he does these educational videos on Super Sentai, why it's fading or why it's failing and why it needs to bounce back because ratings have sort of lost itself. He does really good educational videos on that, and he did a video saying that if this Sentai does bad commercially and marketing, it might be the end of Sentai as we know it, or it might have to take a break because it's been on the air for so many years that it's starting to run out of steam with the kids. But that's what he said in the video, I believe. Don't quote me on that, that's like me just summing it up from what I remember watching his video a few weeks ago, but check him out, he's got really good videos if you want to hear like the history of Sentai and just some behind the scenes stuff. He's got a really interesting educational channel about Super Sentai, so check him out. So if I could give this first episode a rating, I would give it a 8 out of 10 because it had drama, it had action, it had comedy, it had a lot of themes going for it, and it didn't slow down at all. I quite enjoyed it. I know I've said that a fair bit, but I really did enjoy this very first episode. And if you want me to revisit this series and keep talking about it week to week, I'm gonna have to hear your input in the comment section. So if you want to hear more reviews like this of Sentai, tell me in the comment section down below, because I would love to revisit this week to week and share my thoughts on it. But I would love to know if you want to hear my thoughts on this Sentai as it airs week to week. And that pretty much wraps up the video. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for sticking through me as I rambled on for 8 minutes talking about Japanese Power Rangers and people fighting in spandex suits. Anyway, have a wonderful day, take care of yourself, and peace out. Bye.